Welcome guys again in another live. I've been in a position for more than an hour, so let's go see what we are doing. This is about what's happening, and let me first arrange my screen so I can manage my positions. And let me show you what's happening here on the big screen. I have the other position. You see, I have, let me collapse this panel. We don't need that. You see, I sold two positions at the 250 that I said, but I sold one in a bad spot, but I sold it here when price took the 50% I wasn't in. And this was my confluence to sell a position, but you see, price kept going up. So I sold another position here at the top of the fair value gap. But as you can see, it's been like a reasonable chaotic hour because I sold at 11:04 my first position and I sold the second position here somewhere. This was this was my first position here somewhere, and the next position I sold it here. So we went in break even already, even a bit in profit, but if I'm sure, then I hold on. And why am I so comfortable in the position and I'm not panicking? Well, you can see this fair value gap here has been respected the whole time. So yeah, we've been in drawdown, and I was even thinking on selling 10 contracts more here that would have made the level of break even sweeter. But because we kept pushing up, I had something like, look, it's good already. And 20 contracts were close to break even again, and we only need one big push to the downside. And as we all can see here, let's go to the lower time frames now. You see, we are making a curved move. So if we now see, let me put this away because it's bothering us. If we would see now a break below this here, and you see we start forming some bearish moves. I'm just saying, if we would close above here now, then I'm out of position and I take my loss. So my stop is here above. I will never let the price go to my stop. And as we managed, you see, we had small closes above the fair value gap, but look, it's a 5-minute fair value gap. And we had no close above that fair value gap. What am I aiming for? My TP probably will be, because we have two positions. If we can get here, then we would make 10 pips out of the worst position and 16 out of the best. That would be 26 pips in a move with 20 contracts. That would be awesome. Taking a 10 pip loss above here wouldn't bother me too much, because that's just the whole game of trading. The game we play is like this. And you see, we have a bearish order block with nice wicks inside. We have an imbalance here. And with CPI coming, I'll have to collapse. If the trade doesn't go good, then I'll have to probably collapse the trade in about an hour. And we want to see a break below this here would be awesome. And yeah, like always, we are waiting on. Look how beautiful the market starts to show itself. Creates an order block, a 2 minute fair value gap, trades back into it. It's always, you never know what's gonna happen. Look, we could collapse the trade in a small loss and call it a day, but I'm more looking into this is gonna be somewhere my threshold now. I want to really see the move down, or I'm gonna conclude that the trade is invalid. I want to see the price break below. Let me quickly clone this. Clone here. If we break below here, we have a market structure shift, a clear market structure shift. And yeah, that would be great. And you can see we're in a profitable trade now. It took us a while to get there, but now it's all looking beautiful. So let's see what happens. Let's go to the 5 minutes. The 5 minute will show us indefinitely what is happening. And we want to see a quick push to this line that we can collapse the trade. Now we want to really see selling volume. And now we're gonna see where we put our threshold stop loss. Look, price shouldn't come back here anymore. This is the breaker here. So price shouldn't even come back now because we took this breaker here with this wick first. So let's see how it plays out on the higher time frame. From being 15 pips in minus with 20 contracts, that's almost yeah, because the good position, it was only $1,400 in negative. So, and now we see this fair value gap being formed here on the 5 minutes. So I think we're close to getting down. The best thing to do would be close the bad position in break even, but let's see what happens here. Because if we drop down now, we can close the bad position that I sold the first time. We can collapse that in benefit. That would be great. And I'm telling you, I really want to see, we don't want to see price close above the pink line again, because then it's time to collapse the trade and call it a day. This is our breaker, so it's a small zone. Price is already picking up everything, so I didn't come live so soon because it was a constant fight of what am I gonna do? Am I gonna close the trade and collapse it? Is it gonna explode? And starting a live session with OBS takes a while, and if you don't have the screen and 100% focus, that's just a big no-no. Let's see what happens now. But you see it's 12:20 almost. We don't want to see the position go in negative anymore, because then we have to collapse. If price doesn't drop down from this level, I'll probably collapse the trade. And at least you see I'm honest. live trader. I show you the positions. You can see what's happening here. I didn't close any positions the last days. This is my last position from 10 January. So I'm not trying to fool you, or you see, we have the positions here. I don't want to see them. I only want to see this here, and we have the positions here to collapse them if necessary. Let's watch the minute now, what happens, because like I said, this is the fair value gap. Shouldn't go above there anymore, and we should see a next drop come in. We have a market structure shift here. There's no reason to go higher anymore, so let's manage the trade on the 2 minutes. Let's see what happens here. Taking a small loss now wouldn't hurt us, you know, it's with taking trades, getting into positions. On the 3 minutes, everything is mitigated. So we know what we want to see. We only want to see another candle down. If we see a lot of volume pushing up, then it's better to get out, take a small loss, and call it a session. You see what I mean? We're above the fair value gap now, but we're traders, so we're used to seeing these things happen. And we want to see this candle break below now, or you see, it's only $100 loss for the moment, while we have a 2.5K win planned. For what? For a possible $600-700 loss. I can accept that. Let's go on the 1 minute and see what the 1 minute shows us. Look, there is no reaction on fair value gaps here, so it's just more buying orders being processed. Like I said, I should have collapsed this position in break even. Then we still had one good position in positive. And sometimes you take decisions that you regret a little bit later, but it is what it is. Look, we have no real fair value gaps created, only this small piece here. So price tends to trade up again. Don't really like that a lot. Not because I'm in minus, but I want to see a decline in price, and we have 1 minute here on the timer. So we don't want to see a candle close above here. Oops, this is our signal that we have to get out. Look how price moves up again. Takes out this imbalance, so let's be patient. Because we had a market structure shift and we had an imbalance here. No fair value gaps. So no panic here. 47. Come on, push that candle down again. Look, we want to see this candle being pushed down again. But we have a 3 minute fair value gap here, so that concerns me a bit. But we also have the market structure shift and we have no higher high. So let's see how this plays out, guys. If you can't stand the heat, we say in trading, stay out of the kitchen. So let's now see how this reaction plays out. We want to see this fair value gap taken. It's actually not even a 3-minute fair value gap as long as this candle doesn't form a third bullish candle. So we're still good. We're still in the race. And you know, this is, let me draw with Pat. You see where higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. If we have a lower high now, then the next is this. So it's just trading this candle in the 3 minutes. So at the 27 has gotta confirm our thoughts. We want to see this fair value gap. If this closes like this, we have a small bullish fair value gap. Look, and whoops, and I really don't like that too much. So I would rather see this candle close below here. And you see, it's not a big loss that we're taking. On a 100K account, a few $100 is okay. Sad thing is, like I said, I should have collapsed this bad position here and only played on the good one. But yeah, if you see this candle and the next candle drops down, you cannot just collapse your positions out of emotion, sentiment, and fear. So let's see what this candle is gonna show us. Because we have a small bullish fair value gap now. We still respect. And what are we doing? We are reacting from this bearish fair value gap. Now here was a small bearish fair value gap. So let me quickly move this up a little bit. Now you see, now we start to see bullish PD arrays being respected and bearish ones disrespected. But like I said, I don't panic so quick anymore. If you're a few years in trading, you know what you're looking for, you know what you're waiting for, and it's just what it is, We're what, 7 pips in negative? We only need one good drop down. Price is just doing a stop hunt high drop, and I mean, we don't even have to hunt these stops. What we don't want to see is a 5-minute close above this fair value gap, above this yellow line, because then the trade would become really invalid. And you see what we're forming here? This concerns me a bit because we have a bigger bullish candle than the bearish drop. So it's probably not a bad time to collapse the trade, but like I said, I'm a trader and I've seen a lot of things happen that don't make logical sense so much. So I'm gonna hold on to my position and expect this candle to close inside the fair value gap and give an equal reaction above these lows now. Because you can see this was a clear market structure shift. So we're still trading in line with our rules and with our setup. 3 seconds, 2, 1, candle close. And we have the other screens too, but it's not really looking great, honestly. But yeah, that's what we do now. We take risks, calculated risks, a lot of calculated risks, even more risks. You see, we had a higher high, lower low. If we now form a lower high, then it's okay. But what? If we get a decent drop, we still respected the 5 minute fair value gap. Let's go to the 3 minutes now. And we have a new lower high. So it's still okay. We're still in line with what we're looking for. More more long positions, so there's more stops below here to push price down. But there's also a lot of stops to push price up quickly. So or we are in a winning position now or losing. Time will tell. And good trade management, good good execution. So when it's London noon, so this is not my thing to stay in the trade, but like I said, what can we do now? Are we gonna collapse a possible winning trade without necessary confirmations? You see, we're 1,000 and a bit in negative again. That's okay. Yeah, I still see it push up. So now I'm thinking on collapsing the trade because look, we're making big losses and price doesn't really respect our PD arrays anymore. This is the 1 minute. So you see me show you losing trades too. As it is, we could have stepped out in benefit, in profit. But yeah, if you have a fair value gap like this, you expect price to react and come down here. We have a 1 minute close again, but we still are in equal highs. I would even dare to sell 10 contracts more here. Double top. Look, what is the 5 minute showing us? Still respecting the fair value gap. Stop hunt high. You see, and that's what I'm saying. Most traders that scalp like I do, and I had it in the beginning too, that's why I know that it is just this is what happens when you scalp high frequency and you take this kind of positions. It's really nerve wracking sometimes, but you get used to the idea of being wrong and you have to accept that the market does what it does. It's not personal. It's not like, oh, it's again, and oh, it's going against me. I close, and then you see a reversal again. And sometimes it's just, yeah, you have to learn to handle your emotions and don't take too quick profits. Don't stay too long in a losing trade because you see what's happening here. Let me erase this. This was a bearish fair value gap here, but we closed above. We have a new higher high. So what do we want to see? We want to drop. See a heavy drop below a disrespect of this bullish fair value gap with high volume and a close below this candle. And now we can say, like, if price decides to go back and close above here, then we have reason to say, like, okay. And you see now we have another, we didn't have a 5 minute bullish fair value gap. We had the stop hunt high and we are dropping again. So we want to see drop below this fair value gap on the 5 minutes. And that would be our confirmation that we are correct. If we go up from here, I'll collapse the trade because I don't want to see it move and close above this line. That would be my threshold now. Let's go on the minute. You see how price taps the fair value gap, but I'm patient. I'm not in panic mode. If I would be, then I would have to search for another job. You get used to this. And the beauty is now you see what this is a valid order block. If we get a fair value gap now, just don't panic too much, guys. You see, we came from 1200 in negative to 400 in negative, again to 7, 8. It's just, this happens. This happens a lot. And you see, we had a nice sell off already. So if you would see this as a resistance, then yeah, price should drop. We had a support level here, like, so it can go both ways. Let's be patient. And we already had a tap in this bullish fair value gap here. So no panic. This is the beauty of trading. And some people call it gambling and instant gratification. And it is a bit. We have to be honest, it is a bit what we call it, but it's also the reason why most traders don't make it, because they cannot control their emotions. And I understand it's sometimes hard to manage a position, especially if you're losing. And then people want to add, I should have sold more here actually, then we would be in a winning position already. But let's just see how it plays out. And I want to see a quick push to the downside now. One big white candle that would confirm our all trading ID. Look, still trading around the same zone, no higher highs, but we had a market structure shift here. So it's, for me, it's like a stop hunt high drop, what we seen on the trade locker chart here. And I'm telling you, I'm ready to tell you guys, like, I was wrong, was a bad trade, or was a losing trade, not a bad trade. No trade is good or bad. I don't mind showing you losing trades. It's part of the process. You have some winning trades, you have some losing trades, and you have to learn to deal with that. But like I say, the beauty of what I see here is many people went short already here in this position. Let me take this away because it's annoying. Many people went short here in this position, and now we had one stop hunt high, a real stop hunt high, still respects the fair value gap. So, and see, look how beautiful the trading volume, the bearish volume coming in now. So I hope you guys learned something about the psychology behind trading. Look, and we really want to see it drop below this fair value gap. Because if we're gonna get a bullish reaction, then it's not so good. But if we break this fair value gap brutally to the downside, then we can say like, yeah, it was a real stop hunt high to take out all the good positions that were early in. If it respects this fair value gap, then we are wrong and we should take a loss. Just that simple conclusion. Let's watch on the 5 minutes because we have 3 more minutes here. Then, yeah, I want to see what the two is doing too. Look. 2 minute heavy reaction on the fair value gap. Taken out completely. So there is no more fair value gap here. Lower high, look, lower high. Now we want to see a lower low, because if it's going to a higher high, then our trade setup is invalid. Come on, candle, give us a beautiful drop to the bottom of the ocean. And look, indecisive here. Ooh, beautiful. That's what I love about trading. Now we're feeling this small inefficiency here. Again, trading into it. Look how this candle reacts. I don't like that too much, but we could take a small loss now and just accept our little loss. Or we can keep trading the market, not looking to our P&L too much. But what is the market showing us? It is showing us that it took the fair value gap and it's pushing up again. Let's see, we have the 44, so we want to see how the 5 minute candle, what the 5 minute candle tells us now is what we're gonna base our decision on. Because I don't want to see a candle close be. Ooh, come on, 30 seconds. Still inside the fair value gap. Let's see on the 3 minutes. You see it's wicking. You see the wicks. The wicks do the damage. The candles tell the story. And like I said, this is probably a losing trade, but I want to see how it plays out, you know. That's probably a little bit the gambler in me that isn't scared of losing or telling to himself and to you guys, to the people that watched this video, like I was wrong. I wouldn't mind being wrong here, really. It's just part of the journey. And look, you see, this is a bullish close above this candle. Those are things that aren't really good signals always. You have to watch them. And we really want to see a heavy push. You see all the rejection wicks here. I'm not going to collapse the trade, but you see these wicks. It's all pushing upwards. Let's go to the 3 minutes. Come on, push that candle down. Show us the money. Show me the money. Come on, give us a heavy drop. Liquidity has been taken out of the fair value gap. Give us a new look. We have a higher high here, so we would love to see a lower high and a lower low. But that's what we want to see. Doesn't mean that the market is gonna show that. Let's collapse this panel a bit more and come on, dear market. You see patience? We're again from a minus, what was it, 1300 in positive. Let me open this again so you guys see the profit and loss here. And yeah, I understand. I had those days too when it's really not simple and the market is a psychological warfare sometimes, especially when you scalp. If you're trading, if you're day trading or swing trading, you have your limit orders, they get hit, they get taken, and you can forget about the trade. Here we are really playing close on the market, on what is happening, and we have to take quick and smart decisions because the market can be very unforgiving, especially if your lot size. We're in this trade with 20 contracts. So we have to manage the trade very closely and we have to be very aware of what is happening. Look, back nicely in profits. And now give us a close below here. Probably if the trade comes be above this, I'll collapse it because we have been fooling around enough. We should see a very brutal move to the downside. And because we already went in after a stop hunt, we don't want to go after another stop hunt. So what is the 1 minute threshold? Where this is, we still have a fair value gap here, but it's like almost completely taken. This is the fair value gap that we have, but we don't want to see it go above anymore because then it's just stupid. We have a lower low, so let's see on the 1 minute how price reacts. And I rather now take a small loss than go back to minus 1500, see how the bullish candles blow. It's terrible, this trade. This trade doesn't look like it's doomed for success, but more for failure. And you see, we didn't even have the time to get out in profit. It went so quickly, but it's okay. You know, we take the loss. Once we get into a trade, we have to accept what can happen. And this here now, we want to really see it drop below. If we're going up from here, then I'm taking a small loss, guys, because we can't keep playing around here in this. What time is it? 52, 52. So let's go to the 3 minute. You see, this is very bullish again. I know I'm not panicking, but I know what I don't want to see in the charts. And you see, let's see, this was a decent bullish move. We have CPI in an hour and a half, so come on, give us a huge drop now. You took all the liquidity out of the fair value gaps here. This isn't the fair value gap, yeah, on the lower time frames, but it's a decent push up. And yep, we're going. Let's see what happens. Because it's still looking to me that we were picking up liquidity here. Can go both ways, guys. What is the hour time frame saying? Let's check that. Look, the hour time frame is very inconclusive. The 30 minutes is showing us that it's round. You see, it's respecting this fair value gap. So the 15 minutes is saying we are bullish, that we are gonna push to the upside. But this candle can quickly change again into, look, we have 5 minutes left on the 15-minute candle. We're gonna use this as a stop loss. Above there, we close whatever loss we take. And we want to see these 5 minutes play out in a 5 minute candle. Still respecting the fair value gap. Showing more bearishness here. Beautiful. Come on. Come on. I'm talking to you. Come on. And no, we're not gonna shout, shout, and let it all out. Just kidding, of course. So you see, trading, it's not that easy, really. It's a hard game to play, and it's definitely not meant for everybody. You have to have balls of steel, a brilliant genius mind, a heart of gold, and especially diamond hands. Look, the last 3 minutes of this candle on the 15-minute chart. What are we gonna get? Dear market, show us your intentions. And luckily, I got many charts open. Makes it easier. Let me open this one even bigger. This is H1. It's okay. It's an acceptable loss that we're taking in worst case. And look, the last 2 minutes. The 2 minutes, what is the candle doing? Show us what you want to do, because we're not gonna stay too much more time in this trade, because we're in the middle of an accumulation zone. We already had 1, 2, 3, 4 stop hunts high. We have a 5 minute lower low. Look, lower low, lower high, lower low. We want to see a lower high and a lower low. Candle has 1 more minute. Let's go to the 15 and see what the 15 wants to tell us. The higher the time frame you're watching, the less emotionally attached you are to your trade. And this is for me on the 15. I can see I don't want to see price go above that. That would be a 12, 13 pip stop in total. That's reasonably acceptable. But I rather see in the last minute now a heavy push down where the market says like nope. But that's what I want to see, of course. Confirmation of my position. And I don't think we should take a stop. We should pay a stop higher than this stop line here. We really want to see a drop into the downside now and a quick move. I'll probably collapse the worst position first in positive. Let's see how we have the 3 minute move here. And we have a small bearish fair value gap here. So we're still making bearish PD arrays inside a bearish fair value gap. That's beautiful. So look, we could collapse the trade in benefit now. It's only a bit, but at least we wouldn't be losing money. So what do we do now? We say like, look, because the trade has been playing enough with our senses. Let's agree that we want to see this candle fall down. And we don't want to see any bullish moves anymore, because then it's really useless. And look again, I had a position to close this trade close to break even. And then just stayed in the best position, and in worst case close it also in break even. But seems like my nerves can stand it to play this on a high end level. Let's go to the 15. Come on, give us a beautiful drop. Look, lower, lower high, lower low, lower high. We want to see a lower low and a push to the downside. Let's go on the 1 minute. We took the fair value gap. Here is some more liquidity, but come on, show us. And the thing is, with the CPI in 1 hour, the market is gonna wanna lure in people. Ah, finally. We want to see it hit this fair value gap. That's the target that I've been aiming for the whole time. Let me close this once we are in profit. Ah, I'm gonna close this in profit. And now we only have this trade. This is trade management. I know, but we have to take care of our positions. And indeed, we could have let it drop, but imagine taking $1,000 loss on something that you can close, a bad position that you took. So if we close now, we're $1,000 in profit. So this position, we can give it a free run. And I won't let it go above this pink line again, price. So you're seeing me do this live. If there's people that say like, damn, that's crazy how you trade, I know. I invented my own style of trading based on, of course, on smart money concepts, ICT. Thank you again, Michael Huddleston, for being such a great teacher. I know I don't use your concepts and your terminology 100%. Please don't sue me, ICT, but you're the best teacher that could ever happen to me because it's because of ICT that I became really profitable. Before I was just a ridiculous piece of what they want to call trader. ICT really changed my life. You see, we're 1,000 in a profit now. Let's go to the minute and let's trail on the minute. Ah, now we're not letting price come above this point anymore. This is where we get out and take our profits and we call it a day. Let's see on a minute what's happening. You see these rejection wicks, don't like that so much. And you see the volume looks manipulated, so I'll just get out with $1,000. Oops, didn't get out with 1,000, now I do. So why do I get out and I don't wait? Because I'm done and tired of the whole game we played here. And let's see to the other position that I have running here. So that's good. And in total, let's see, closed positions minus 60 and 900. So we're writing this down. The 10 lots in the worst position is minus $60 plus $900. And I'm gonna check my other close positions. We should have waited. I'm telling you, we should have waited, but I was just, it was enough, and we don't want to get caught in more accumulation manipulation techniques here. So look, price going up again. You can see it. Let me open this again. Look, that was a good exit. Let's see on the 1 minute. You see how it curves again. Look, really, this was a good decision. We went, probably is gonna hit our TP here, but I wasn't willing to take any more risks of paying a stop loss. So I'm happy with the result. That's because, wait, give me a second. 102, because I had two more lots on another chart, and plus 30. So in total, we are up 1,002 minus 30 is $972 for a morning session. Where are we coming from? From minus 1,000, a trade that probably should have been collapsed earlier with a bad position for the beginning. So good execution, or let's say good trade management, and well done. That's what we write down in our journal, and we just see what happens. And I'm gonna write down in the logbook like it's the 15th, didn't have trades for 5 days. And then we have here plus 132 on. Now we're gonna write here top step NQ 50K account. Took that yesterday. I had the account already, but I put it on pause a while ago because I was too busy. And here we have the 840. So that's a nice trading day. Who's making 840? That's a minimum Spanish wage from a girl that's working as a cleaner or in a basic restaurant day job. They're making like 800-900 a day. That's what we made. 800-900 is what Spanish people are making in a month. We got that out of the market in what? In 2 hours. So are we doing bad? That's my whole question. I don't think so. I think I really love trading, but you see what's happening here. Look, if we didn't collapse the first position, the bad one, then we would have been again in break even with the worst position. Then what? Then what? Look, then you have to do what? Expect it to go up again after this here and again down. Sometimes you take your wins, you take some profits, and you stop cause scalping. I'm telling you guys, if you would scalp like I do, you see these moves. Yeah, probably made $1,000 more. Let's see, this is where we got out. We could have made $700 more. Let's see. If we left both trades open, then we would have had a 2000 plus trade. But if you get in too soon here, I was in this trade here already. So, and then you see this going against you the whole time. And I'm live with you. Now we're gonna hit this. We're gonna have a hit. Beautiful to say. Hit TP. Calculated position hit. That's what we're gonna hit. That's very clear now. So, yeah, now we write down and we be honest with ourselves. That's what you as a trader have to learn. Was tired of the manipulation, happy to get out of trade. in profit, went 13 pips total in negative, managed emotions well. Traders, it's not that you're gonna lose completely the emotion of trading. It's how you're gonna learn to handle them. And you see, after 2 hours, my emotion to take a loss was under control. But to get in a win, go back in a loss to win more, here for me it was done. And you can say like, oh well, yeah, but come scalping with me and get in here. If we would have got in here in the last place, then we would have had one position here, one position here, one position here. We just got too soon in a trade, in an accumulation zone. And for me, it's a mental game that I prefer not to play too long. And this is now the breaker. Probably price should reverse here again to the TP, somewhere here. This is the fair value gap. So you see, to get this extra few hundred out, if you're not in a position from here, and you're, because I had my first position at 11:04, so that's 2 hours being manipulated. It's like masochism. So I'm happy to be out. I'm happy with the win. Almost took $1,000 in the morning. Who who wouldn't be happy with $1,000? Just tell me. Yeah, 2,000 would have been sweeter. I understand, but come play the game with me, and we'll see. So gonna call it a session. Probably I'll be live again at after CPI. CPI, I don't trade CPI on itself. Maybe at 3-4 somewhere that we catch a session, and we'll be streaming NQ2. So didn't got a lot of chart time on Nasdaq. So it's gonna be all rusty, but I'm looking forward to be streaming more and more, and would be great to have an audience, so and teach people some tricks and tips, or tips and tricks. So thanks for watching. I hope it was educational, especially the psychology part. You seen us go in a heavy drawdown here, so this was a good exit point for me. Collapsed the losing trade first, the bad position that we had from here, and we took a nice amount of profit in general. So thank you very much, and see you later, guys. Stop